Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us here at SpeedGaming for another Metroid Prime Echoes Randomizer weekly race. My name is Marion Lott. I'll be your host for this wonderful showing today. And joining me in the booth, also as our co-commentator and our tracker today, we have PC 1997. How are you today?
Doing great. Looking forward to a good race.
Alrighty, it's always great to hear. All right, now, for those of you who might be new or just a refresher on the rules and presets for today, we are going with our standard settings, also previously known as even. Now, what does that entail? Well, I'll tell you. Currently, we are starting at the Great Temple, main energy controller. We're starting right up there with UMOS 1. Translator gates are vanilla by color, so we will need a violet translator to get out, which, good for us. We're going to start with violet translator, a little bit of quality of life for us. Multiplayer items have been shuffled. That includes, but is not limited to, double damage, unlimited beam ammo, unlimited missiles, cannonball, and that should be all of it. Suit's progressive. Beam ammo is split, so light and dark beam will have to be collected separately for their ammunition. Other than that, it's whatever the runners decide. Speaking of the runners, over on the left in the blue corner, we have Baja Blood. And in the right, from our previously weekly race, we have Nye the Bath over in the red corner. Now, can I come back from the forfeit that we had last week? Is Baja going to sweep the floor? Or are we going to have one wild race? You know, anything's possible with these weeklies lately. We're just being cursed seed after cursed seed. If last week's weekly is anything to go off of. A lot of out of bounds logic in that one. But as for today, we've got a clean slate. Both our runners are ready, hydrated, and ready to rock and roll. So with that being said, once the hour starts, we're going to get the final countdown, and we're going to get this race started. So sit back, grab yourself a bottle of water, stay hydrated, and let's enjoy the fun.
Let's see what Forgotten Unseen Visor has for us today.
So once again, we are starting in main energy controller with Violet Translator. This will immediately get us the hint here at UMOS 1 and will allow us to progress right to Temple Grounds through Temple Assembly Site. So let's see what our first item is. It is, oh boy, look at that. We've got a little screw attack hiding here. Now, screw attack's going to be amazing once we find Space Jump. That's going to completely break open this game. Screw attack's one of the most broken items out there. We have a translator in Storage Cavern B over in Temple Grounds. Now, we will need missiles to get that, which shouldn't be too far behind. Yeah, preferably, we'd want that to be Amber Translator. That gets us Sand Cache over in Aegon and gets us the Aegon hints. But first, we have to fight the Dark Alpha Splinter. Albert the Alpha Splinter, as we call him here. So we're going to see what Albert has hiding us for us today. Any predictions, PC?
Like you said, not too many things could be. We'd love to see Space Jump, missiles, or that Amber Translator, like you were saying. But Albert has been pretty erratic in what he gives us. Seen some pretty crazy starting items. Like you said, Screw Attack is amazing to start with, especially because you have Morph Ball, so all those Morph Ball tunnels you can Screw Attack into to get out of bounds pretty easily. They're going to make quick work of this.
Indeed, my friend. Unfortunately, we don't have any quick kill methods. We don't have power bombs, no light beam, no super missiles. We just got to rely on our regular charge beam. Oh, and I see chat's trying to recommend a vanilla ETM. That would just be mean, having an energy transfer module.
So critical to the original story, but does absolutely nothing for us here.
Absolutely correct. The ETM was only used for story progression. Oh, like Inghive key. Oh, I don't like what that implies. All right, transport A access. Oh, super missiles hiding on transport A access. Or correction, transport B access. I'm sorry. A access is the sanctuary side. So we know we need to come back here for super missiles. That's going to be great. As that's going to give us a shortcut once we get to Aegon and get through Warrior's Walk. Gets us from early Aegon to to labs a little bit easier without having to go all the way around. But instead, we're going to go through Temple Assembly Site. We have something shiny up top. Can't figure out what that is. Looks like it might be an ETM, though. Yeah, I would say that's an ETM. No, that could be a key. Nope, I'm pretty sure.
Got that same glow.
Yeah, I'm about 90% positive that's a ETM. Otherwise, runners would have gone for task jump to get it. All right, so key bearer hint: beam related upgrade in a cursed lake. That could be one of anything. I'm going to write that down for later. We're going to go and get the hint, the violet hint here, and the item, which happens to be missile launcher, which is great because that'll get us that gets us that translator we noticed earlier. Ooh, light beam and portal access. Say that is a freebie. We can get that right now if we wanted to.
And that's launcher, so that logically puts a lot of things up for grabs.
Yes, it does. And Baja's going straight back for Storage Cavern B. And it looks like Nye's going to skip it for now. We have a route difference here. Baja really wants to know what translator's hiding here in Storage Cavern. Now, again, if it's Amber, that's going to get Baja some early knowledge that Nye won't have, thanks to the translator hints being Amber here in Aegon. But Nye's going to risk it. He's going to say, well, I won't need that translator just yet, probably. Oh, and it's Amber. Oh, no.
It is Amber translator.
Oh, that's going to stink. Because if what am I trying to say? If Sandcash has anything of important, Nye's going to have to take some time loss to go back to get it.
Yep. 180, you have to turn all the way back around and can't progress too much further without it.
Indeed.
Like you said, sand cache is helpful.
Now, we don't have space jumps, so we're going to do a nice little slope jump here to skip going all the way around. Oh, and unfortunately, Nye took a little bit of a fall. That's okay. So what we're going to see Nye do here, we're going to climb the exterior wall. We use the missile to lower the bridge. But now we're going to use a slope jump on the right-hand side of this little metal bar. Now, because there's a slope there, we can just barely get enough room to get some extra height. In short, a slope jump, whenever two pieces of geometry meet, or is angled, in this case, it forces your avatar up a little bit. You know, you're on an incline. If you were to jump the same instance that you hit that incline, then you get a little bit of extra height from your jump. But Screw Attack was on Umos 1 and main energy, and Amber was Storage Cavern B, which Baja went. We have, a Morbus is guarding a missile expansion. All right, so we do not need to fight a Morbus. Now, we might still need to fight him, though. We don't know what's hiding in a Mining Plaza, though. Mining Plaza is still unknown. I peeked it, but we didn't get a good look at it. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to keep on moving. Yeah, Nye's running a little bit.
Yet, so you got to be careful with these pirates.
And unfortunately, due to Nye's mishaps with the slope jump, Baja was able to quickly close the gap from making that early divergence in Temple Grounds. But right now, both runners going to Portal Access A. We're going to grab Light Beam here. Our lovely Light Beam. Now, Light Beam's going to be great. It gets us a shortcut to Dark Samus through Sand Canyon. And we also get some extra damage with Light Beam against certain enemies. But right now, due to the missiles, our main thing is we want to get Bomb Guardian defeated. We want to find what he has, and we're trying to find Space Jump and or bombs. As right now, we're sort of locked behind both of them. And the keys to Dark Aegon Temple doesn't matter. We probably don't need them. Oh, no, Nye's not gonna like that.
Oh boy!
Remember how I said earlier? Remember how I said earlier if Sandcash had anything useful on it, that now would need to go back for Amber? Well, guess what? We found Space Jump!
Exactly right. You called that.
I am so sorry. Oh, Nye is not going to be happy with that. He's going to have to backtrack the couple rounds to get that, to get those amber. As amber is on Storage Cavern B next to Temple Assembly Site. Now, Nye's going for the quick kill on Bomb Guardian, and we did successfully get it. Baja's also going for the quick kill. We're halfway there.
Alright, just some E. Good to see this early, especially with trips into the Dark World being predicted with that in key, like you said, that made me nervous too.
Absolutely.
Always need to have enough E with the Varia.
And to answer the questions in chat I see being brought up, the missiles were found on the transport to Aegon entrance elevator. Now, Nye had a choice to make. Either A, use the missiles to get the translator off of SCB, or he can make early progression into Aegon. Now, unfortunately, Nye has no progression left. We have no space jump, and we have no bombs, so we cannot progress further, logically. So Nye's going to go in and go for the save station here, use a save warp, and go right back to task to get that translator, which in turn will lead to space jump. Meanwhile, due to Baja already having Amber for the first pass, we're able to continue straight through into Command Center, right through Central Mining Station, which we're going to right now.
Nice snipe on those Phazon barrels from all the way across the room. Love to see it.
That's one of my favorite things. You see two pirates standing there at the at some Phazon canisters, and you know it's highly explosive, and you're standing that close to it. That's not a good, safe thing to do. But the good thing is, Baja found Dark Beam, so we're fully loaded.
Dark Beam.
We're
we
loaded.
Can do the entire pirate loop.
You're absolutely right. We can. We can do the loop and come back. So we have. Oh no, we can't. We don't have bombs, so we will need to do it half and half, though.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, we got a translator down there, possibly Cobalt.
I think it was Cobalt.
But unfortunately, due to the lack of bombs, we will need to trigger lockdown.
There's pirates just chilling there, just watching Samus walk by.
And Nye has the Amber translator. There we go. All right, so routing-wise, thanks to Dark Beam, this gets us... I want to say this is Storage Cavern A. It's either A or B. Or just Storage A. Which is a missile, which is great, because now we have priority drops. So really quickly to cover a few things that happened. Number one, priority drops with echoes, unlike Prime. If you have a set number of ammunition and or missiles, the game was more likely to give you what you need compared to just a random drop system. So if you're low on health, you're more likely to get health from a drop. If you're low on missiles, you're more likely to get missiles. And I'm wrong, that's Dark Visor. Hey, we actually found Dark Visor this week. But I believe Dark Visor, it was either Dark or Echo that we were missing last week. And that just, yep, it was Echo that we were missing. That just completely threw the seed for a wild loop. But now we're going to go to Dark World. And thanks to that Dark Visor, we're going to go to Battleground. And in turn, we're going to go to Feeding Pit. Grab a few items here. Unfortunately, we don't have supers to go all the way to Jump Guardian. But we know where supers are. They're back over in Great Temple. Now, Nye here, we're going to use a soap jump. Got it first try. Nice job. And we're going to grab the Amber Hint here, telling him what a Morbus has. And thanks to us having Screw Attack, we can just break the entirety of Aegon's platforming. Looks like it was just a missile over in Vanilla Light Beam. We don't really need them right now, so we're going to keep on moving. We're going to go to Doomed Entry. We're going to grab the item here, thanks to a Screw Attack. And then we're going to progress into Battleground and check both items there. And it looks like an ammo expansion. Yep, dark ammo. Nye's going right for Sand Cache. We're going to get the Space Jump. And then progress throughout the entirety of Labs. And there's Space Jump. We're going to see what's here on the top of Battleground, thanks to the Dark Visor in cache. And it looks to be just a missile. We don't necessarily want them either. And the battleground item was not important, so we're not going to trigger the fight. That's just time lost. So unfortunately, we are done here in Dark Aegon. We're going to go back to Light Aegon and fight Dark Samus. Now, meanwhile, is going to be doing the exact same loop. We're going to go right to Central Mining Station, in turn go to Command Center, do some cleanup here at Storage A, then go to Dark World, get some items, and come back to fight Dark Samus. As right now, this is their best option. And this gets nigh Dark World information, so we know we don't need to come back for. Unless Feeding Pit has something.
Yeah, now you're going to want to go get that item.
Yeah, we're going to want your Dark Beam. Alright, Dark Samus. Now there's a few ways to quick kill her or make this fight easier. Number one, screw attack. You can see we just took out a major chunk of her health. Power bombs would instantly end the fight. Super missiles do a great deal of damage. Dark Beam does a good amount of damage, since technically Dark Samus is a light world enemy. So just anything would really help speed up the fight. So fight's over. We can now check storage D or storage B and figure out what Dark Beam item is. Oh, and that's our bombs. Look at that.
Whoa.
That's huge for Baja now.
That is awesome. Really helpful to open things up. So now that loop isn't off limits, but honestly, where do you go from here? You've got so many options.
It looks like main reactor had... Oh, I couldn't read that in time. Couldn't read what Dark Oasis was. Let's see. I'm going to take our attention back over to Nye real quick. So Nye's just triggered lockdown. We're going to go back, grab Dark Visor. And unfortunately, due to the lack of bombs, we can't really do much, but we have Screw Attack to break the glass. So now we see Baja trying to do a triple bomb space jump. Now, what is this trick trying to do? Well, we're trying to skip the boost ball requirement here for sand processing. Now, what we're doing is we're doing a triple bomb jump. Now, because we're pushed against collision, Samus enters what's known as an instant morph. So when you're stuck against a piece of collision, the morph ball animation can't play properly, and instead, you're instantly at the end of that cutscene, which is when you're fully morphed. Because of that, there's a few frame window when we get that instant morph where we can perform a jump input. Now, if we perform a jump, we can go right over to one of the destroyed turrets, get wedged in between that, bomb up to a piece of collision, and then just jump right across. As you see here, we did an instant morph, or in this case, an instant unmorph. They work both the same. You force Samus against collision, try to hit the morph button or unmorph button. Cutscene can't play, and it does it instantly. Alright, so right now what we're going to do here over on Baja's side, we're going to progress through this little morph ball maze. We're going to go right over to bioenergy production, check the item here, and then we'll be progressing into early Dark Aegon, which is that Jump Guardian, Trial Tunnel, Inkesh 4, all that good stuff. And that's over back through...
to show off there.
Indeed. That's all the way... And in my opinion, I'd say... I would say Sank probably has the best movement, but that's just my opinion. And we have a Sky Temple key. Ooh, glad we came here and checked. STK number 1, bioenergy production.
Very nice to not have to worry about coming back here later.
Oh no, I see what Baja's doing. Baja's gonna go out of bounds to check storage C probably.
Oh yeah, don't have supers, so can't get there logically, but screw attack is about the exact same dimensions as a morph ball. So if you can screw attack into the opening for a morph ball hole, the game doesn't realize that you're not in morph ball form, and once you stand back up, you have nowhere else you can be but out of bounds. Very useful trick in Echoes.
Absolutely correct. Oh, I'm back over on Nye's side. We're going through Battleground. He realized both items we don't necessarily want. So we're going to continue back to Doomed Entry, and continue forward.
And just a missile.
Just a missile on Storage C. Well, that's good because that means we don't need to come back for it. Storage C, just like in Cache 4, it's one of those checks in Aegon where it's extremely out of the way, and if you need to come back for it, you know it's something that you're going to want. You more likely than never.
We still might need whatever's in the dark version of the room, but don't need to be back here in Biohazard.
That's fair. We could check in Cache 2 for a Sonic Boom. That might have something.
Can you do that one the same way by getting out of bounds, or do you need Annihilator Beam?
If I'm correct, I believe there is an out of bounds for it. It's just a little bit trickier compared to the Light World version. And we see Nai attempt to do the same trick that Baja did with Dark Samus. But we're going for a stun lock method this time. Oh, and Baja's low on health. We gotta be careful. So what Baja's...
taking a warp.
Oh, he got it. He got it. Good work. So what you saw Nai do there, we fired missiles at Dark Samus. Now, Dark Samus, all 4 fights, if you fire missiles at her, she instinctively raises her Phazon shield, that big old blue wall surrounding her. Now, when that shield ends, there's a few frames where you can input damage on her. And in this case, we use those few frames of her standing still to use a screw attack on. And as we said earlier with Baja, screw attack does a ton of damage against Dark Samus.
Does a ton of damage against most anything.
Well, that's fair. So Baja instinctively decided to go back to Great Temple, get Transport B, pick up the Super Missiles, and now because of Super Missiles Light Beam, Baja's going for Torvis area. Now this makes sense. We already cleared a lot of Aegon, so instead, do you A, full clear Aegon, or B, do you go for where the game's trying to push you? Yeah, it's a hard question to answer because both would be pretty good. But I would say Torvis is probably your best bet. Oh,
I think so. In most experiences, not going where the game is clearly trying to tell you to go is a risky maneuver. It can pay off, but it is very risky.
I completely agree with you. Because right now, Baja's logic train right now is number 1, Dark Missile Trooper is available to us over in Hive Chamber A, thanks to us defeating Bomb Guardian. So we can do the Hive Chamber loop, get A and B both. Oh, we're also going for Hall of Honor Dead. Looks like we're going to see a Seekerless door skip. All right, so real quick, Seekerless Seeker doors. This is an advanced missile trick. I'd say it's probably expert. But what happens here is Screw Attack is able to destroy Seeker locks. And because of that, we're able to break open these Seeker doors without the need of Seeker missiles. We fire a missile at 1 or 2 of the locks. And at the same time, within a few seconds of each other, we want to throw a Screw Attack out and try to hit all the remaining locks to destroy them all within the same time. Now, if we do it properly, all the locks are triggered around the same time, and the game is programmed to think, hey, if all the locks are destroyed, then the door is able to be opened. Unfortunately, we didn't get it this time. We are out of missiles, so we will have to come back for this trick later.
Yeah, that's one of the trickier instances, but there's several areas across the world that can happen in, and it's really useful to be able to bypass Seekers until later.
Oh, and a beam-related and defiled shrine. All right, so right now we're
going to see Dark Missile Trooper.
Yep. Now, what's DMT gonna have for us today? Power bombs. Oh, main power bombs. Those are huge. Those are something we really, really want. All right, and we see Nai attempted to do a trick here. Over on the right side of your screen, you see Naya has just defeated Dark Samus. What now? We want to get the screw attack item. What we're doing a triple bomb jump into an instant unmorph. Now, once we get that instant unmorph, Naya's trying to do a split-second screw attack to bonk against a piece of collision and get flung backwards to the spider track. Now, by doing this, we're able to stand up in this room, and we're able to go out of bounds and get the item. But what it also does, we can get right over to Sand Canyon, use this light beam door without the need of a spider ball. Now, in turn,
a little bit by the pill bugs.
Yeah, these pill bugs can always be a headache. But it looks like we have either double damage or unlimited ammo here. Unlimited ammo, really good. All right, so due to power bombs, what is Baja thinking? Well, if I was Baja, I would be making the beeline for Aegon, and I'd be going straight for Sank Spider side. Granted, we don't have Spider Ball, but I'd be doing some Aegon cleanup, ending at Dark Oasis, and then going right for Sanctuary. So my train of thought is, you got your super missiles, you got your power bombs, you don't have Spider. And yes, chat, we do have time to gamble on suits. Since it's brought up, we'll play my favorite game, Guess the Item Location. Now, final bosses are required, so we will need Dark Suit at minimum. Cannonballs on Umos 2, we're never getting that. And Light Suit possibly is needed. We might not, we may do. It depends on how this game goes. So put your hints down below. Whoever guesses the closest will win a special prize at the end of this race. And a special prize being something that we'll have to figure out.
Baja going for, I believe, Jump Guardian. Also, like you said, can clean up Sand Canyon on the way to Dark Oasis. So there's not too much in Aegon that's not available.
Yeah. Speaking of suits,
Dark Suit.
And the information for Spider Balls. So we know where Spider Ball is, and we know where his suit is. Oh, that's pretty good.
Wow.
Oh, and there goes Naya with the first try secretless door skip. Great job. Oh, and we got an STK on Mining Station B. Now, there's a few ways to go about this. Made you look. Nice joke, Kent. And we have another STK, Mining Station B. You'll write that one down. So, to explain what just happened in rapid succession, Baja, on Baja's side, not too much trick-wise. Knowledge-wise, we know where Spider Ball is. That's going to be great when we get to Sanctuary Fortress. We did a small trick to skip the puzzle for Portal Chamber. The game only checks for the last sand block, and because we have Screw Attack, we just Screw Attack right over into that sand block and destroy it instantly. As long as that last block's destroyed, cutscene triggers, you can go to Dark World. Over on Nye's side, a few things just happened. Number one, first thing, we found Dark Suit over on Mineshaft. Number two, we got an SDK over on Mining Station B, so great combination of items right there. And number three, we did a secretless door skip, as stated earlier with Baja and Hall of Honor dead. If you fire a missile at one lock and then Screw Attack the others in rapid succession, if it's done properly, you just instantly destroy the locks and the door pops off. And I did it first try. So meanwhile, Baja's over here in Dark Aegon, over in early Dark Aegon, in Cache 4, Jump Guardian, Trial Tunnel, all those good locations. So we're going to check this side to see if anything useful. So far, nothing of importance.
Just a dark ammo expansion so far.
Oh no, I believe that was Seeker Launcher on Junction Site. That could be huge. Unfortunately, those are hard locked behind Seekers or really extremely difficult out of bounds. So Nye's going to be following suit, no pun intended. Following the same line Baja did, going right for Dark Aegon and destroying the last sand
Baja
block.
Here's,
Now
Baja
go ahead.
here's doing a nice trick to make easy work of the Jump Guardian. So the Jump Guardian is actually there, it just hasn't spawned in, but it's able to take damage. So if you stand up there without triggering the fight and knock it out with a bunch of light beam and missiles, then as soon as it spawns with essentially 1 HP, because it can't be killed, but it can be damaged while it's up there. So as soon as you trigger the fight, it's all but dead. Just a missile expansion, unfortunately, for it, but really nice work on that trick.
Yeah, thankfully developers were smart. They put in a hard lock safety feature in this fight where that Jump Guardian cannot be killed, period, without triggering the cutscene first. So that way it prevents any amount of soft locking. Or
right,
item deletion.
Because then you'd never be able to pick up space jump boosts, and that would be pretty bad.
Yep. Or the item is getting flat out deleted, and have fun staying in that room all the entire time. Better hope it wasn't anything important.
You just have to make it a low % run.
You know what? That's absolutely fair. This is a randomizer, though. All right, so Baja's done here in Dark Aegon. There's nothing further for us to do. So if I was Baja, I would say we're going to go back to Warrior's Walk. We're going to use the portal in Dark Oasis and then continue forward into Sand Canyon. Nope, we're not doing that trick. So I would say we're probably going back to Light Aegon and going to Sand Canyon first. We're going to get Sand Canyon's items thanks to power bombs, and then continue forward into probably Temple Grounds. There's 2 different routing options that we have.
Yeah, I would say either Temple Grounds or Torvis. Torvis is looking really, really nice right now, just because we have everything we need to progress through most of it. But I definitely wouldn't isolate Sand Canyon just because we have Screw Attack and Power Bomb.
Yeah, it's like right here too, so you're not going too far to your way for it. So I'm wondering, because we're going right for the save station. I'm wondering if Baja's going to go for a save warp thanks to the information he has of Spider Ball, and probably going to go search Temple Grounds for Spider Ball. That's my train of logic. He's going to clean up Temple Grounds, hope he finds it, and depending on the area of where he finds it, as I believe, what the hint say, exactly 3 rooms away from Storage Cavern A.
I think so.
And Storage Cavern A, I've got a map here that will tell me everything. Let's see, where is Storage Cavern A? That's nope. That's Temple Transport A. Oh, that's what it meant. Oh, so no, it's saying task. It can't exactly be Storage Cavern A's where, unless it's up to and not exactly, it could be communications area, or it could be compound.
Yeah, well, I think you're right. Baja heading back to Temple Grounds. And we get Sand Canyon.
Nope, and we see Nye doing the same trick Baja did. We're shooting Jump Guardian's hitbox, lowering it down to 1 health, and then just instantly ending the fight with a few pellets.
But with unlimited beam ammo, it's a little nicer. Baja actually ran out of ammo in that moment and had to farm for some light beam ammo.
That's fair, and yep, it must have been exactly 3 rooms away, because Storage Cavern A is 1 room away from here. So that be... Oh, and since we defeated Jump Guardian, that's great, because if it's on top of the ship, we don't need to come back.
That's right, it's already spawned.
And to point out, unlimited beam ammo was found in ventilation shaft A, or ventilation area A. And I found, oh, there's Spider Ball. Of course it is. It's inside the crate.
Yeah, I don't need 2 of them.
Unfortunately, it doesn't do anything with the dupes, so.
Yeah. And then on top of the ship, now that we've defeated Jump Guardian, we have just missiles.
And to answer chat again,
So with Spider in hand, now Torvis or Sanctuary are both looking like some high-density checks.
I would say based on, since we did find supers relatively early, I would probably take the bait, go for Torvis, and then enter Sank through lower Torvis. That's where I'm thinking. But no, unlimited ammo, yes. It was found in ventilation area A, in between Sand Canyon and Dark Samus 1. So let's see. It's how you get to Sank from Aegon if you're going for Spider side. So over on Baja's side, we see Grand Wind Chamber and Wind Chamber Gateway, both hiding expansions. Nothing of use to us, unfortunately. Oh, well, look at that.
Double damage.
We definitely want that. That'll make everything a lot easier. And we have everything we need to skip this entire area. And I think Baja's going to get a first try. Ow, so close.
Game, not just multiplayer.
Yeah, Baja's not going to waste too much time on it. He tried it once, he almost had it, and he left. Nye, meanwhile, thanks to Dark Suit, we're going to see our key hints. Now, unfortunately, we do need Seekers to open Sky Temple Gateway. We don't have Seekers. If I'm correct, they are on Junction Site. So, we are going to see one of two
Seekers yet.
We are going to see one of two different things. Number one, Nye's going to go out of bounds and bypass the door. Or two, Nye's just going to use a Seekerless Seeker skip as he did in Mineshaft.
Got that one first try, so probably the latter. With 2 energy tanks, probably fine to go out of bounds, but do want to, kind of keep an eye on that.
Right.
Meanwhile, Baja, warping to start, did not check what was underneath the save station.
And he gets the first try again. Look at that.
Wow.
Nice killing it with these Seekerless door skips.
Alright, get your pencils ready. We're about to see where the rest of our SDKs are here. We already have 2 of them we came across on our way. So where are the other 7?
Oh, please have one on Chica. That'd be great.
Oh, I'd love to see Chica.
Your keys are...
Torvis Plaza. In-cache... Is that
2.
1? Transport access. In-cache 2. Transport access. Now I also pausing to write this down.
That means light suit. Yes!
Dark Torvis Temple. Wow.
Oh, and Vault has one
Fortress
too!
Vault. We're going to Far Vault.
And Reliquary!
Sanctuary. Wow.
Oh, that's terrible!
Huh. Well?
That's terrible. Those are terrible locations. So to explain what happened, just... Oh, Reliquired, yes.
We're just going to complete the whole game. We're just going to have you guys 100% the game.
Okay, so to explain what just happened, why I'm laughing so much, here's your key locations is what's required for them. Number 1, bioenergy production, we already got. Mining Station B, able to access, we just need to get to it. Technically, Baja needs Seekers to get that key, or do a Seekerless door skip, as the out of bounds is not great. It's a little too tricky. Torvis Plaza, you need Boost Ball for, which we don't have. So we're still missing Boost Ball. In Cache 2, we need Annihilator Beam. or a difficult out of bounds. That's where Vanilla Sonic Boom is. Fortress transport access, we need to be either a tricky out of bounds, or we need light suit. Dark Torvus Temple, we need all 3 of the Dark Torvus keys. As Chica requires keys, there's no way around that as we know of. Path of Roots we can get, we have Screw Attack. Vault, we need Boost Ball for. Vault's hard required. Unless science, correct me if I'm wrong, Cestrion. But I believe we really need that Boost Ball for Vault. And then Ing Reliquary hard requires Light Suit or a ton of energy. So yeah, that's gonna be fun to find. We got a long ride ahead of us.
Yeah, definitely not enough E-tanks to go for that without light suit.
Oh no, I already mind. So now we are correct that those are Seekers over in Junction Site. So Baja has Seekers that get some immediate access to Mining Station B. Hopefully it leads him down the way to Mine Shaft to get to Dark Suit along the way. And we're able to get that key as well. So we're only about a half hour in, and this seed is already turned into a nightmare. Oh, I see the Cannonball Wall Crawl and Sang can just rush them. Yeah, that's fair. We could do a Cannonball Crawl. As Cannonball theoretically would give us a mock boost ball. That's a good thing to point out. And to point out what's happening here on the right side with Nye, you see Nye trying to morph as soon as he enters water. Now, what we're doing here is a trick called air underwater. And we just got it. Now, what air underwater does, we still have the properties of moving in water, but we still have some properties of being on land, which in turn lets us use a screw attack. And look at that, we found Light Suit. Light Suit on Torvus Entrance, also known as Torvus Lagoon. The other suit was over in Mine Shaft. Mine Shaft had suit 1, Torvus Lagoon has suit 2. And here's Path of Roots. There's that key we were talking about earlier. We just screw attack over to it. Baja, meanwhile, is going for key hints as well. Probably. Or nope, he's realizing he doesn't have the energy to do it, so we're going to skip it and go right to Torvus. So right now, our entire train of logic is rushing through Torvus, as there's a lot of stuff we need to do here. But the big thing right now for both runners, especially Nye, since he has STK information. Yep, nope, Baja is going for key hints. Yep, we're going to go for the out of bounds method. Nope, wrong side. We're just going to go rush it. We're just going to rush it. We have Seekers. Oh, I'm thinking of rooms backwards again, aren't I? Yes, I am.
No worries, it happens. But
yeah,
nope. Varia with only 1 energy tank. Let's see how this goes.
Yeah, he's got enough energy to make it with a Death Warp. So what we're going to see here, what Baja do here on the left, as Cestrion pointed out, thanks to our Seeker launcher, we can just destroy this gate, no questions asked. We can get our key information, and then do a Death Warp back to our last save, which was Landing Site, which isn't too far away. Now this saves us the long trek back. But for Nye, for both runners right now, the biggest problem is trying to find your Dark Torvus keys.
Right. There's no hints for that. They're just gonna have to come across them unless they happen across them on the way to something else. So that's gonna be
Absolutely.
tricky.
Yeah, the Dark Torvus keys is really going to be what you want to route your entire game around. As everything else is easily accessible. You know, there's an elevator close to Vault. There's a Incash 2. Granted, it's out of the way, but it's in Aegon, so it's not terrible. FTA, it's on the way back to Gateway. And thanks to Light Suit being right here near Sank Entrance. Or near the Sank Entrance elevator for FTA. And that's Emerald Translator. Emerald Translator, come on. Well, we're gonna want that eventually for some information. And here's the Death Warp. Oh, and there's Gravity Boost on Abandoned Worksite.
Nice.
That's pretty good. Gravity Boost in Torvus, you like seeing it.
Along with an Aegon key, and I picked up a Dark Aegon key. We all know that's not going to help right now, but
no, unfortunately, nothing.
Might as well stop it from glowing in your face.
Yeah, might as well. Yes, Light Suit is now technically logical, as air underwater is in no way logical for these races. It is not a beginner trick. But Light Suit was on Torvus Lagoon.
Torvus Lagoon, yeah, right underwater. Which gives Nye both suits, and Baja is still missing either.
But no, I'd say with Baja's current equipment. Oh no, Baja's last save was here in Aegon, wasn't it? Or something. It was somewhere. I would say Baja's probably just going to go for Mining Station B.
Did they lose anything that they had? I didn't think so.
Nope, they're good.
Okay.
I would say thanks to that Seeker, though, Baja's thinking Mining Station B, Sand Canyon, and then he's going to do some stank key cleanup.
There's a Torvus key for Nye.
Oh,
Very helpful.
That's a vanilla key location.
Is it key 2 that's there? I thought it was 3.
I think I think it's 3, but it's a vanilla location. You it's a Dark Torvus key.
Vanilla.
And there's Baja coming across the first suit, 45 minutes in. Nye, meanwhile, is progressing through. Well, we got another red key here. Dark Torvus key 3. Look at that. 2 Dark Torvus keys helpful. right on top of Chica. That's pretty good. Now we're just missing the first one.
Where it has Seekers heading in. I have no idea. Now, when Nye was here, he didn't have the power bombs in the mining station. So
yeah, he still doesn't.
Check this. Still doesn't. So wasn't able to check just a missile expansion though. So not a problem. Yeah, Baja's about to pick up that SDK.
Yeah, I doubt Baja will. I doubt Nye's going to ever come back here to check it. But with those 2 Torvus keys, it's a matter of where will you find that last key, and how important will it be to your routing? Now that you got the first 2 keys, which are surprisingly on top of Cheka, if that last key, oh, that's an Echo Visor, not Emerald. It looked like Emerald. I'm sorry.
It did.
If Nye comes across that last key anywhere in Torvus, it's most likely to say that Nye's going to come straight for the Cheka fight, get it out of the way. Yeah, it's the longest key that you're going to need. Yeah, it takes up the most time. If it's anywhere in, let's say, Hall of Honor Dead, it could be anywhere in Sank. Yeah, it's hopefully it's here somewhere.
I would just be doing the highest density checks possible.
I agree.
Because you're gonna you're gonna need it, and the second, like you said, the second Nye gets it, he's going for Chica, and that's a pretty. I mean, it's definitely not game breaking, but it's a pretty healthy lead.
And we're gonna see another seekless door here by Nye. We want to shoot one lock, screw attack the other 4. Well, we're down to 2 missiles.
Oh, that looked good.
He got it, last missile. And he gets a missile expansion for the trouble. Nice.
And Baja picking up unlimited ammo, so neither of them are going to be worried about that anymore.
No, they're fine, but did I check here in Poison Bog yet? Or no, he got the information for Poison Bog, so he knows he doesn't really need it. And let's say we're going for the ammo station, though. That's not an ammo station, that's a save station. Right? Ammo station's on the other side.
Safety save. Okay. Not save warping.
Well, it looks like Baja's decided to go for in-cache 2. Nice catch, Cestrion. Now, I stated we usually need Annihilator Beam for this, but there is a tricky out-of-bounds we can do to bypass it. Very similar to the Storage C check that we saw earlier from Baja's screen. We're going to screw attack into a Morph Ball tunnel, and in turn, this will allow us to get into that room. Now, here's the problem. In order to get out of that room with the item, we need to perform extremely precise screw attack collision bonk to go out of bounds. And you'll see what I mean by that once we get to it. But we're trying to screw attack under a piece of collision, which is a lot harder than it sounds. So here's step 1. We're going to screw attack into this Morph Ball tunnel. And that in turn is going to push us out of bounds. Right, now we're out of bounds. We're going to work our way over to in-cache 2. Meanwhile,
seconds and counting.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying 300 seconds and counting. There's no light fields in out of bounds, so he's got to get this item and then get back without running out of health.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Nye's making the first trip into late temple grounds. So this will get the spider ball, which will be extremely useful once we get to our Sank cleanup. So right now,
I stand corrected. There's a field right in the room. Never mind, I take that back.
Yeah, so this is what I'm talking about with the collision. What we're trying to do is, you see that little piece of U-shaped rubble? We're trying to screw attack underneath it. So at the end of our screw attack, we want to be right against that wall, and because that's the size of a morph ball, it forces Samus to clip out of bounds, and in turn we can jump out of bounds per se. But the collision itself is the size of a penny per se. It's extremely small, and you're trying to get it frame perfect.
But I would definitely say worth it, considering otherwise you're locked out of this key until Annihilator, which could be anywhere.
Could be who knows when. But nice decided to put that check off until later. I would say Baja probably needs to angle more to the right to get a better angle. I'm not that good with out of bounds, so
I don't like Baja. I don't think Baja likes Baja Strat either, Cestrion.
I mean, you're getting one of the hardest things out of the way now, unless you find Annihilator relatively fast, then, you know. Oh. Oh, and we see Nye trying to go for a secretless door skip as well, but the Metroid won't let him.
Get out of here, Dark Talon Metroid. You look nothing like the Metroids on Talon.
Well, it's because we're not on Talon. Oh, great attempt by Nye. Second try. Nye is destroying these secret doors. And thanks to Light Soup, we can come over to Aang Reliquary and grab this key. Now, thankfully, Baja did save, so if he ever decides to give up on this trick, he can save, he can warp out and go right back to the save station. Nye, meanwhile, grabbing another key. That's 3 for Nye.
That 4.
Or 4, right?
With tricks like this, it just feels like,
oh,
there we go.
He got it.
I was just about to say, when you've dedicated that much time to it, giving up just adds insult to injury. So I really, once you kind of committed, personally, I like to stick with it till you get it. And it paid off here. Baja made it out of bounds.
I think it's important to note while we have a little bit of downtime for travel, what out of bounds movement is and how it's involved. Now, I'm in no way an expert. I'm not familiar all that much with it, but to say the least, every room is inside a box. Okay. And outside that box we call the Aether. Now, sometimes we want to go outside the box into the Aether, as we see multiple different ways to get out of bounds. Now, once we get out, we're in that little Aether box. And a few different properties happen. Number 1, if you're the morph ball, you fall right to the bottom of the box. Number 2, if you try to screw attack while in the box, you either A, get extremely hard locked and you're not moving anywhere, or B, you just fall on down. Or C, you might get some distance. Usually you just get stuck if you use a screw attack. Now, in order to move through the Aether, it's extremely difficult. We're trying to move from inside the box to outside the box. And every time we do that, there's a few frame window where we can jump. You know, we get the height, move inside the box, and we lock our vertical position. Then we go outside, jump, come back inside, we go up a little higher. And out of bounds movement, that's how in your speed runs, we're able to get power bombs early thanks to Dynamo Chamber. And just completely break open the game. There's a video explaining this a lot better than how I can. And I gotta see if I can find it.
That was a pretty good explanation. When you're in the Aether, you move upward very, very, very slowly. So if you just stand there, that's why sometimes when runners fall down to the very bottom of that box, they need to Aether jump. As he was saying, jump in, jump out, to get back up pretty quickly, because otherwise you can just float upwards in the Aether, but it takes a ridiculously long time.
And so here's the original thought I have with Baja. He's not going to Torvis yet. We're going right for Sang. Especially with that spider ball in hand, that could be pretty game-breaking.
Maybe come in here to see if you can find Torvis keys, so he doesn't have to search Torvis for them. Because we know we have to be in sync anyway for a couple of the other items.
The problem is we don't have we don't have the hint for where the Torvis keys are. If we find that tells us exactly where it's going to be, region-wise. And now Nye has main power bombs thanks to DMT. That's going to let us get a ton of more item checks. And progress through sync.
Nice and place an expansion right next to it.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Paisley Cliff has a missile. Nothing too important. Routing-wise, we're coming up to our 1-hour debrief here. So when we get there, we'll go ahead and do a little coverage of what we have today. But meanwhile, Baja's continuing through Sanctuary Fortress, trying to find I'd say we're trying to find boost ball at minimum, and or get the cannonball state from a worker's path. Well, but that's not going to wait for the gate to open. We're just going to screw attack right through the little gap in the gate.
Did you know the scan visor is useful for gathering information?
You know what? I did not know that. That's extremely useful information. Oh, and we've got an E-Tank on Spider Guardian. And Hive Dynamo has a beam related, so nothing of importance. We don't need any beam related upgrades. We are good to go with that. But it looks like Baja really wants that E-Tank. So we're gonna try to go get it. So to explain what we're doing here, we're using a slope jump into an instant morph to roll backwards into the morph ball tunnel to grab that E-Tank. So we're going to go on the very edge. Oh, well, we already got it. Look at that. Second try,
Nice.
That was easier than that trick's harder than what he made it out to be. We're using a slope to get that extra bit of height. And then once our back is against that morph ball tunnel, we want to do an instant morph and try to roll into it. It's a very precise angle and height that we need to be at for it all to work.
And usually that E-Tank is a reward for not dying to Spider Guardian. We're just going to pick it up here.
And I would say nice, probably going to go through... nope, we're not. Nope, probably not. I was thinking we're going to do some backdoor into Torvus and continue through underground tunnel. But nope. Looks like we're going to Dark Aegon. We're probably going for... Where's my notes here? I could be trying to go for Incash too. Might do the same thing Baja did. Although I believe we already fought everything here. We're not really looking for a Morbus. Nope, but we have Spider Balls. Nope, we're going back for the Seeker launch. Those Seeker missiles that we couldn't get earlier.
Vanilla E-Tank on Baja's side. That brings him up to 5. 4. I can count. 4. And there's Seekers for...
Nope. Well, we got another trick here to bypass the entirety of the puzzle on Watch Station. Similar concept to the Spider Guardian one. We're just going to turn our back to that little morph ball bomb slot, do an instant morph onto the track, and then continue along. This skips the entire first half of the puzzle. Oh, and there's our grapple beam.
Grapple beam.
Oh, well, yeah, that's nice to have. Although it's absolutely useless. I mean, we've had screw attack from the very beginning, so...
Yeah. I mean, it's helpful during the Chica battle, but like you said, we've got screw attack, so really don't need it.
I mean, it's nice to have for checkup. You know, it makes it a little bit faster going between rooms. Oh, there's Annihilator. Annihilator on ATS.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's probably going to be
right
a while.
Right after doing that whole Dark World trick for the STK.
Yeah, but who would come back here? A Sonic Boom in the poison off a feeding pit. Would you really come back here all the way after going to the far side of Sank? Yeah, it's just a way too long of a
No,
journey.
I think he still saves time, even though he's having a little bit of trouble with that out of bounds. It still saves time.
Absolutely. Yeah, so right now, the biggest thing that we want, we have to get Cannonball State through Workers Path, or we got to find Boost Ball. And we need one of those two to get Vault. And Torvis Plaza. We can't do Torvis Plaza without it either. But it looks like Baja's going for the Workers Path strategy for Cannonball. So what we did here, we screwed attack against a piece of collision, similar to what we did in Incash 2, and we're using this to clip out of bounds. Now we're going to go and climb the room. We want to get to the very top, and we're going to go all the way around it. We're going to go around the little energy slot, and we're going to go ahead and load Torvis Temple. Now, because we don't have Cobalt, we have to do this regardless, as Spider Guardian is locked by Cobalt. Alright, you see Nye doing the same thing that Baja did. We don't know where Annihilator is, at least Nye doesn't. So we're going to go out of bounds here in Cache 2 and follow the exact same steps that Baja did. We're loading the room, we're going to walk around that room, and then go to the room that we really want. As for Baja, we climb to the top of Sank Temple. We're going all the way across the Workers Path, which is behind this Cobalt door. We're going to fall down. We're going to activate the Kinetic Orb Cannon from out of bounds. And then we're going to use the Kinetic Orb Cannon while the game thinks we're in the wrong room. Now, what did I just say? I don't know, but let me try to explain it. Now, we have the Kinetic Orb Cannon activated, all right? That's the first part of this entire trick. Now, number 2, we're going to try to use that Orb Cannon while being in the wrong room. Now, focus on the mini-map when Baja unmorphs eventually. The game will think that we're loaded into Torvis Temple. You know, it thinks that Torvis, where am I? It's going to think that Sanctuary Temple is the loaded room. That's the room that the game thinks we're in. When in reality, our person is in Workers Path, a totally different room. Now, because of that differences in the map, when we use the Kinetic Orb Cannon, it's going to fire improperly or wrongly and shoot us out of bounds. You know, so when it tries to hit the platform at the very end of the path, it can't load it, as technically speaking, the room's unloaded. There's nothing there for it to load into memory. So we just go right through it. And that's what we call the Cannonball state, is when we clip through by using the Kinetic Orb Cannon and getting that weird Morph Ball state. Baja right now is just trying to climb the room so we can actually get Torvis Temple loaded properly. We're just trying to climb the room. Now, what is Cannonball? Well, it does a few things. Number 1, whenever you're in Morph Ball mode, you're invulnerable. You take no damage, you're invincible. You take absolutely no damage. Number 2, it gives us a mock Boost Ball, so we can use Boost Ball while not really having it in our inventory. And number 3, it deals heavy damage to enemies affected specifically by Cannonball. And for this scenario, it would be Chica. Chica is able to be damaged by Cannonball. And unfortunately, I believe Baja did something wrong. He clipped inbounds, unfortunately. He clipped inbounds too early, and Sank Workers Path was the room loaded. That's huge time loss, unfortunately. Oh no.
You could see those frustrated shots. Yeah, you clip back in, and now that's a lock.
Oh dear,
because we don't have Cobalt. So he's going to have to go back to wherever he saved last. Now he did save at the cliff, um,
I feel
next
bad.
to next to the gyro chamber. So fortunately, has a save right there and didn't pick up anything critical. Just the E tank and
And so,
the missile expansion in Sanctuary controller. Now, I meanwhile still working on getting out, using the same trick that Baja did. So they're both just feeling like they're losing time here. They don't know that each other is feeling the exact same way.
oh, nope,
And
Nige
Nye
just got
gets
it.
it.
And like we said, Nice doing the same thing Baja did. We're trying to clip out of bounds again by screw teching into a piece of collision.
Now you can see Nye Ether jumping up so that we can just walk over to where we need to get back in bounds.
You know what? I will say I tried to do this out of bounds stuff, and I could not figure it out for the life of me. I think the first time I actually went out of bounds was in Mini Gyro Chamber. And I learned the hard way that Mini Gyro Chamber has no collision backwards. Oh, that was a terrible first experience. So
Yeah, I haven't done any echoes out of bounds. Prime 1 out of bounds is a little easier, but there's not as many locations to do it because Prime 2's environment is just so much more conducive to getting out of bounds.
I mean, these runners make it look like a cakewalk. It's
Absolutely. Dark ammo, not helpful at all. We've got 250 forever, so...
yeah, so Baja's going to put that trick on the back burner for now. We'll have to come back to it later.
If we come across Cobalt just while we're searching, it might be worth not having to deal with it, but...
Then, theoretically, yes, we could just go back to Sank Energy from Worker's Path and continually try it again. Unfortunately, not much else that we can do in Sank. Right now, Baja's looking for a power bomb drop. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
As that will get us into Mini Gyro Chamber and connect the loop from Sank Vault to Sank Spider side.
Remarkably gets one just when you want one. That's not how the Echoes drop system works, but...
Oh, that's not how the Prime drop system works. What are you talking about?
Echoes can be pretty rough as well.
That's fair. I agree.
I'm specifically remembering trying to get power bombs on Emperor Ing's shell form, and the Inglets just would not do it.
Oh no!
It was ridiculous.
And Baja
just another E-tank here, but Baja hasn't been into Torvis, right?
Not yet, no. So we're still missing light suit, and whatever I said was an unabandoned work site. I believe that was something important.
Checking Hazing Cliff, nothing of interest there.
You know what? I got this sinking feeling that we are boost balls probably somewhere in Lower Torvis.
Oh.
And I'm afraid that that's right.
It definitely is the last area with high density checks. That would just be mean, but of course if you get Cannonball you don't need to worry about it, but that's so difficult to do.
It looks like Nye's deciding to go for Hive Entrance. One of, if not the most out of the way checks in this entire game. Look, Hive Entrance takes a while to get to, takes a while to come back. And you gotta have so much to even do it. You gotta have
light suit, so you can't really check it early. Yeah.
You know what? Actually, no, you're correct. But if you want to be really risky about it, there's an out of bounds for it.
Well, then it just takes even longer.
Well, yeah, but you don't need light suit then.
And
Oh,
it
and
is
he's
not rewarding. Not even bothering
No.
to pick it up.
It's like, no, that missile could stay there. I did all that work for you? No, you're going to have to sit here the rest of the game. Oh, I love it.
That in-cache is just laughing. Yep, Baja heading to Torvis from Temple Grounds.
Gravity boost. No, that's what I was thinking. What? That was on an abandoned work site. That's the item. So yeah, we're gonna go over here and find. We're gonna find that light suit. So Baja's gonna be happy about that. And we're gonna open up Worker's Path as well. Just do a double check. And then come on back. But as far as the rundown right now, we're an hour 15 minutes in. Over on your left with Baja, we have 3 STKs compared to Nye's 5. We are missing Echo Visor and Light Suit and Gravity Boost, which are all in Torvis. And we did have a little bit of a hiccup over in Sanctuary Fortress trying to get Cannonball State. Over on Nye's side, we are entering Inghive, or continuing to go through Inghive, while doing some Sanctuary Fortress checks. We have 5 keys. We have Echo Visor, which will do us some good progression. Annihilator Beam is missing, but we're going to find that on ATS. And with our Echo Visor, that gets us a few checks as well. Right now, the biggest hunt for both runners. We are trying to find Boost Ball. Either Boost Ball or get a Cannonball State. There is 1 key over in Sanctuary on Vault, which hard requires Boost Ball. Until we get that or Cannonball, we cannot beat this game. Furthermore, we are in need of Chica keys, Dark Torvis Temple keys. We know where 2 of them are, and I found 2 of them back to back on storage on Incache 1 and Incache 2 over in Dark Torvis Bog, in front of and behind Chica. We do not know where Dark Torvis Key 1 is, as unfortunately, Chica does have an STK. If we find it, then we are go mode. But right now, we need the keys, and we need either Boost Ball or Cannonball.
Yep, that's definitely what we're looking for. Baja got air underwater in order to get the light suit, along with just picking up an STK now. So it's really just a hunt for that Boost Ball and that last Torvis key. Baja needs to pick them all up still, but the first 2 were pretty free.
I do want to point out before anyone questions it, I didn't really cover it before we started, but early on we did get a violet hint that the Cannonball pickup itself, that item is on Tumos, which requires us to defeat Quadraxis, return the Sanctuary Fortress energy, and go back to Umos 1 over in Great Temple. Now, unfortunately,
they will not be doing that.
No, the entire process for that is lengthy, and it's faster, believe it or not, to get the Cannonball State and fiddle around with Cannonball.
Alright, Baja finding Echo Visor.
I think he's going to go out of bounds it. Nope, probably. I'm wondering if Baja's going to go out of bounds to get that, but I doubt it.
At Cestrion's. Maybe it's good we're not doing an out-of-bounds tournament so that stuff like this can't happen.
Yeah, another was pointed out.
It definitely can be a huge time suck if things don't go well.
To point that out, the Metroid Prime randomizer community, or just the Metroid randomizer community in general, is currently planning an Echoes tournament similar to the Prime tournament we had a few months about a month or so ago, probably a few months. That is still in the works. We have no set time, but it is in the planning stages. More information, if you're interested in joining us for the Echoes tournament, can be found in the Metroid Prime Discord posted below. All right, so Nye is returning back to our regularly scheduled program. We see Nye is back at Sanctuary Fortress. I shouldn't say back at, it's first time. Now, I would say it's... Oh, we do have submissions open. I've been correct. So to touch on that, if you're interested in joining the Echoes race, submissions are open. We will get the information. Submissions close on the 29th, so you have 9 days. Just over a week. We'll get more information as soon as I find it. Unless, Sestron, if you want to post some links below for them, that'd be great. But other than that, Nye is going for the same out of bounds that Baja attempted. We're going out of bounds in Sank Energy. We are progressing forward to Worker's Path, and we are going to try to get Cannonball. Matter of will we be successful? As this is an extremely difficult trick to pull off. And Baja is not interested in that gravity boost. Nope, we already got it. We already got that gravity boost. What am I saying? Oh, and I think Knife fell to the bottom. Yeah, he did. Knife just took a major mistake and fell to the bottom of Worker's Path. That's not good. So that's an instant restart. So both runners had some hiccups trying to pull off that out of bounds today. Oh, that is not good to find.
He's cut us some slack, Huntering.
Well, it's a Huntering. They're never going to let up.
There's the first Torvis key for Baja. Picking up the second pretty quick.
Yeah, but we still don't know where that first key is, though. That's going to be the outlier for us today. Oh, it's always good to just sit back and enjoy the music of Echoes once in a while, Just the ambience of how each world incorporates itself and draws you into the atmosphere. And see, I was right. I was going to out of bounds, so there's no way we're going to do that. Check vanilla. That's too much time lost. We're just going to clip through the floor and continue along. And meanwhile, Nye is attempting again to go out of bounds at Worker's Path. We really want that Cannonball State. So we're going to take a little bit of time to get it. And I will say, though, that Torvus Bog, in my opinion, has some of the best Metroid music out there. It's calming, it's relaxing, it's a very peaceful ambience to draw you in and take a step away from all the hectic battles that you've run into across the game.
That's true. I know that's a Torvus. A lot of people like the Torvus Upper. I really like the Under Temple theme for Torvus.
No, that's a good one.
It's a remix from Super Metroid, and it's just, really eerie, especially when you can't see everything clearly before you get Gravity Boost. I love that one. Speaking of, that's where we are now. Pick up the Light Ambo expansion, and...
Alright, so we're coming up to the final stages here. Now I just activated the cannon for Worker's Path. Now the tricky part. We have to load Torvus Temple as the active room, and then go into the Orb Cannon. So we gotta swap rooms over. It's a very delicate process. There's one wrong move. If we clip inbounds at the wrong time, we will have to reset, as Baja did, due to the rooms not being proper. And we have no Cobalt to leave. But meanwhile, Baja's continuing through Lower Torvus. We're going to open up Training Chamber. That'll give us an elevator to Sank Vault Side. And we're going to get some more items down here.
Comes true and Boost Ball appears.
I'm saying that's where I feel it is. It's got to be somewhere. Oh, and he did it. Look at Nice. Got it. There he goes. We go through the wall. Nice successfully entered Cannonball. And what did that hint say?
All right. Nye has Cannonball. Baja picked up Emerald Translator.
I am fairly certain that hint just said Boost Ball was somewhere near Under Temple.
I wasn't able to see it. I had one eye on each stream.
Yeah, I think that's what it said. Chat, correct us. Use your almighty powers, but I'm going to get a rewind real quick. Alright, so Nye has successfully entered Cannonball. But be warned, we cannot use a kinetic orb cannon or else we lose the state.
Yep, once you hit one of those parabolic plates, it automatically cancels it. So we'll have to just make sure we don't.
Alright, another Emerald hint. Annihilator Beam? Well, we already know where that was, game. Thank you. Alright, so both runners continuing along. They're just going straight for keys right now. Nye has some Sanctuary and a little bit of Torvus cleanup left, I believe. Let me double check. Yep. Nye has a little bit of Torvus cleanup and some Sank work to do. Meanwhile, Baja still has to go to Ing Reliquary, a little bit of Sank, and possibly one left down here in Torvus. Or two, yeah. So we're still got a long way to go before any of this is over. Which is good, means more content for all of us.
Nice doing this puzzle, but I believe Vault would be next. Next on the list, right? Since we're right there.
Absolutely. Now that Nye has Cannonball, we have a mock Boost Ball, which is a fake Boost Ball. So
it's good enough.
Yep, it's good enough. We are able to activate the spinners without losing Cannonball state, so that is right next on our list. We're going to get that key shortly.
Heading down to Alpha Blog. Very fun fight. Definitely make sure you know how to strafe.
Yeah, but we're just going to peek the item. Hopefully we don't need it. Oh, we might need it.
Which one is it?
Oh, it's just an
Aegon.
Aegon.
We don't need it. Nice.
No.
If that was
If that was Torvis, then yeah. Darn. I'm sorry, folks. We're not seeing it. We're not seeing a Alpha Block fight today. But you will get to see a Power Bomb Guardian fight. Oh, there's a red key up there. Which one is that?
Ooh.
Oh.
Aegon.
Well, we know where all 3 Aegon keys are.
Yeah, if we wanted to fight a Morbus, just for funsies, then...
Oh, yeah, of course. Just waste more time. Why not?
It's not a race.
No, absolutely not. No, we're just doing... Well, it is kind of, but now we're all just doing this for the fun. I do like the style of Power Bomb Guardian's fight, though. Having it only be in Morph Ball, yeah, you do have some limited design choices, but it's a nice concept,
It is a really interesting fight. First several times. Oh, sorry about that, Nye. First few times I didn't realize if you do the later ones first, it makes it a lot easier because the throws get a lot more accurate and a lot more frequent, the power bomb throws from the boss. So if you do the ones on the other side of the room first, then you get to finish it up nice and easy, which Baja's about to do.
I really wish they did more with this concept, having more specialty boss fights.
Well, Spider Ball is similar, all in boss form, but it gets a bad rap because it's awful and it deserves it.
It's awful and it deserves it. By the way, there's your boost ball. Boost ball on Under Temple. That is a terrible location for it, as all the stuff that we need boost ball for is all the way far away. Oh, there's a Torvis key.
There's Torvis 1.
Under Temple access. Oh, man. So
are we
all of the...
have a full tracker by the end of this? All we're missing is Echo and Cobalt.
Nope, Baja has Echo.
Well, if you mean for Baja.
Yeah, Baja has...
Oh,
yep.
I am sorry. I completely missed that. Let me mark that off.
That's okay. Yeah, he went out of bounds to grab
Cobalt.
it. Pretty much. Cobalt's the last major that we don't have any information for. All right, well, this throws some routing questions up then.
Absolutely. Baja's ready to go fight Chica and rush the rest of the keys. Nye needs to fight Power Bomb Guardian and pick up that last key. Already has the first 2. So that means Nye needs to get to Torvis ASAP.
You know what? I would say what closed the gap here would be Baja's willingness to do more full clearing of areas compared to flip-flopping.
Right. Now, Nye doesn't need Boost Ball because...
He's got Cannonballs. Yeah. But he still has to go to Under Temple Access, though, to grab that last Chica key.
Right.
As of now, or there is currently no known method to break open Chica fight without the keys. A Morbus, you can jump the gate both directions. Quad, you can completely skip the keys if you have Annihilator first, or jump over the gate. Chica's got a cutscene which plays, and that cutscene's required for the fight to be proper, as you actually take an elevator up into the boss chambers.
Yes, Estrion Baja did get lucky with that Torvis key. I would loosely say, like you said, this is anyone's race. I would loosely say that Baja has the lead right now, even though Nye has one more SDK. But
Oh,
that could very
unlimited.
easily be closed as Nye dives into Torvis here, and Baja getting unlimited missiles.
Oh, but Nye's got to pull off backwards training chamber, though.
And 0 power bombs. That doesn't bode badly at all. Alright, Baja heading towards Vault.
All right, he gets backwards training chamber. Good work. And then vault for Baja, courtesy of that boost ball.
Snag that Emerald Translator for Nye.
And now Nye's going to get the hint for a morph ball system in Under Temple access. An Under Temple. So you're like, well, there's only one morph ball system we don't know yet, and that's boost ball. So routing wise, what do we have? Well, on Baja's side, we're going to grab Vault right now. Then we're going to go for... There was something I had listed. Where did it go? We'll grab Vault. That way Sank is completed. Then we'll probably use the... Which route do we want to go with? Probably go back to Torvis, grab Chica and Torvis Plaza, then go back for FTA at the end, grab Ing Reliquary while you're near FTA, and then head for the end. As for Nye, once Nye finishes his lower Torvis set, I would wholeheartedly believe that we're going to go fight Chica first, then do Torvis Plaza, and then practically do the same thing. Just both runners are practically have to do the same exact thing at the moment. They all have the same keys that are missing, except Nye grabbed Ing Reliquary. So yeah, that's what I would say. We're probably going to see Torvis first, then the cleanup over in Temple Grounds.
There's the last Torvis key as well for Nye. Oh boy.
Now it's on. Both runners are here in lower Torvis. They're both trying to beeline for Chica. It's on. As Sestrion stated in chat, we got a race, folks. We're back at it. Both runners neck and neck.
They're both in Cho mode. Chica go mode.
Chica go. I was about to ask you what that meant. Chica go mode. I like that. And here's the sad thing. Both runners have to take this elevator. There is no known way to go from lower Torvis to upper Torvis. And if it is, I believe it's extremely difficult out of bounds, and it just would not be worth it. I know you go from higher to lower, but I believe the lower climb is just... No, you don't want to do it.
No, I decided to waste all of the unlimited ammo.
You know, I'm having a hard time processing that statement. Waste and unlimited in the same sentence. I'm having a hard time figuring that one out.
It's just very unusual to see them, spamming shots of Annihilator beams since it uses both dark and light. But for a second, I was like, what are you doing? And I'm like, wait a minute. He's got unlimited. Never mind.
Both runners are going for Torvis Plaza first, it looks like. They get the far away check first. Yeah, remember, Torvis Plaza needs boost ball. We can't get it without it. Right now, Baja's in the lead, room-wise. He's further ahead. But Baja has to go to Ing Reliquary.
Right.
Baja has to take a detour in Temple Grounds to grab Ing Reliquary. And that might give Nye a little bit of an advantage. This all comes down to final bosses, how each boss works.
Yep, we'll need to see how Chica and then Embering and Dark Samus
you know what?
behave.
No, I'm sorry for cutting you off, but Sestrin just brings up a great point. Nye has Cannonball for the Chica fight. That's an instant time save.
Oh,
the reason was
right, I didn't even consider that.
No, I completely skipped my mind. Now, for those of you a little bit concerned, wondering, oh, what does Cannonball have to do with Chica? That makes no sense. Well, here's the strange thing. We believe during development testing or QA testing, they were messing around with the Cannonball state, and there's a hitbox for Chica which can be damaged by Cannonball, and Cannonball's damage step is any enemy affected by Cannonball takes damage at a rate of 500,000 per frame, and because Chica has extremely less than 500,000 damage, Chica Adult can be one shot. That just instantly ends the adult fight. So,
Right,
man,
I didn't even think about that, but that's going to be hugely beneficial for Nye. Whereas Baja's going to have to do the traditional method of fight adult Chica and then dark Chica and then go back and forth.
Well, the good thing for Baja is he's got unlimited missiles to help him out as well. And with Seekers, that speeds up the adult fight a little bit with the wings. Not by much, but
Right.
there's still something there. This is interesting. Let's see what happens.
So Baja
Say
getting
hello
into
to
that
Chica.
fight a little earlier here.
Yeah, and I still got a little bit of walking to do before he makes it there.
One of my favorite bosses, Chica.
I do like how it's designed, though. I like it.
It's just a lot of fun.
That and Thardus from Prime 1, I know a lot of people hate on it, but I like the Thardus fight.
No, I agree. Thardus is awesome.
I will say I love how they did the Metroid Prime exoskeleton fight, using all your different beams and whatnot. But I hated that it took so long.
You want to talk about 500,000 damage on a single enemy.
And we're just spamming that Annihilator at him. Right.
Yeah, he's just standing there. Or she, I don't know what gender Chica is.
Well, I call it an it that way. You can fry
There
up
you
Chica,
go.
get some good chicken nuggets, But
We have to assume the adult form would be the mother, right?
per se, if Chica Adult is the adult of all those war wasps you see flying around, then yeah, that would make sense. All right, here we go.
So we gotta stun it, and then we don't need grapple beam. We can just ignore that.
And go all.
like you said, yeah.
Oh, one wing missed. One wing missed. Oh, they all missed. Ouch. What is going on here? Why is it...
Well, you can hit all wings at once, but each one doesn't it take the equivalent damage of a super missile? So you'd have to hit it twice.
I don't know. I think it depends on the angle. I've had it where he falls down with just one missile each. Probably could have just been due to double damage. But still, 3 phases for it? Here's the thing. All right. Here comes Nia with the cannonball on the right side. Watch the right side of your screen, folks. You see Chica Adult flying around. We're flying around. And there we go. The fight's over. There's that SDK.
decided to fly a little too low there, and it's over.
It's like getting a stubbed toe on a Lego, you know?
Ooh, nothing worse, especially in the dark.
That's what I like to think this fight is. Particularly adult just stubbed her thorax on
Abdomen?
the abdomen on the cannonball. It's like the equivalent of stepping on a Lego.
So that brings Nye to 7. I'm scrolling back up in the chat.
There's one
to
more.
See where are we missing? Which two are we missing?
FTA is one of them. The light suit beam over in Temple Grounds, and then I don't know what the last one is because Nye did Torvis Plaza.
Right.
It could
got
be
bioenergy mining plaza. Got reliquary. Got vault. I was thinking it could have been. Unless
I was thinking it could have been bioenergy. That's what I was stuck on.
No, did the same thing as Baja and got out of bounds. Unless I miscounted. If someone else knows which two Nye has, feel free to let us know.
We'll see. But right now, Baja's continuing along. We got all the Torvis keys. Now we're probably gonna go back to either Temple Grounds or we'll do the cleanup over. No, I think it's just Temple Grounds at this point. Because you got the mine shaft one. Yeah, and Nye's just making a beeline for FTA.
Baja, meanwhile, also going to be death warp or save warping, but needs to pick whether he wants to do the same thing or stop by reliquary. Probably the same thing. Reliquary is not exactly on the way to final bosses, but it's at least, not that far out of the way.
I would say he's probably going to do reliquary first, then come back for FTA, as the portal to get to Ing reliquary is on the way to Compound. It would be the most logical sense.
Zestrion agrees. I'll take you guys at your word, because it looks like.
Yeah, because you see Nye over here
I was
going
looking
through
at
that
Nye's screen.
Yeah, he's going through that cobalt door. This is FTA here. This little light beam check. Oh, and bruh, it looks like bruh finished. So, GG's on bruh's side. Yeah, bro is also racing along today's seed, just not on the restream. And so now Nye's going for
GG's.
Grand Wind Chamber and Gateway. And here's Baja going for Ing Reliquary. Use that portal off of
So which key is Nye going for? Which one was missed?
Unless he's going for a shortcut, or nope, he sees the double damage.
Got Vault, Reliquary, Dark Torvis Temple, Transport Cat. Is it Path of Roots?
No, Path. I think Path of Roots they already got. But based on where Nye's going, you could be either you could be right, or there was a miscount somewhere.
Yeah, I'm trying to determine whether he's heading for final bosses or whether he's going to Path of Roots, because I don't remember seeing Path of Roots.
Yeah, he's going to final bosses.
Okay, I must have made a miscount. My bad. I will mark it on 9.
Oh, that's okay. That's all right. And then here's Baja coming back off of that key.
Well, given that, Nye does have quite a bit of a lead, Zestrion. I think you're right there. I didn't realize I'd missed a key, so that made it a lot closer than it actually is.
Yeah, now Baja still has to go to FTA before making the trip to Gateway. Now we still have final bosses though. Bosses are turned on. So it comes down to these final fights. Now, with the final bosses, there are some tricks that we can do to speed them up a little bit, but we'll cover them when we get to it.
Now heading up to the Sky Temple.
This game is almost over. I'd say it's safe to say we're gonna see a 2-hour finisher.
Yeah, I'd say so. With the equipment they have, especially with double damage or unlimited beam, unlimited missiles, all that stuff really just makes Emperring a cakewalk.
Yeah, unfortunately, no double damage. That was over on
power bombs.
It was over on Grand Wind Chamber.
That's right. Both of them looked at it.
Yeah,
both of them looked at it, considered it, and then skipped it.
Yeah, Baja tried to get it, but slipped off the final collision point that he needed. So he didn't want to waste time to go back and try it again. But here we go, Emperring 1. Our goal with this first phase, we want to destroy all the tentacles to pop out, and we want a super missile or spam annihilator into that inner core. We just want to do a ton of damage.
Or
4 shots.
Sunburst, that also works too.
4 shots will do it. First phase over. Phase 2,
Nice
we gotta destroy all these little inglet splots on the exoskeleton. Power bombs and or bombs will work. We want to force those little holes to open and blow them up. Power bombs work great, but unfortunately drops here are terrible.
They're terrible. You're right, I just considered, I was like, wait a minute, why isn't he getting hurt by the inglets? Cannonball means that Nye is completely invulnerable in Morph Ball form, so that really does help, not getting slapped off the shell by the little inglets.
Cannonball is a wonder. All right, Emperring 3. What do? We're going to screw attack the underbelly. There is a hitbox left, which screw attack deals massive damage to. And look at that, almost a full 1 cycle. We want to aim our screw attack right for the underside, right at the under the belly. There we go. Emperring is down. We are at the final boss. We are going for Dark Samus, the true final boss of this area. Now, unfortunately, Baja having trouble with the secret door. He's finally entered it. We're making progress to the gateway. All right, this is going to happen extremely fast. So here we go. Dark Samus 3 and 4. We want to do a set number of damage to Dark Samus 3 to force her into a mock stage 4. That way we're going to use a stun lock method and hope that Dark Samus 4 does not center us, and that way we can just continue to stun lock. So we're doing a set number of damage points, waiting for her to charge, and then we're going to throw a screw attack to deal some extra damage. The second she lands, we want to do a screw attack.
Very similar to Dark Samus 1 and 2, you can stun lock with missiles because she loves those cylindrical shields.
Right. Screw attack was hit.
Getting 4. Let's see.
Nope.
That's just under half.
That's a center. That's a center. Immediate center. That sucks. So instead, with this 4th phase, we need to grab the little phase-on pellets that Dark Samus fires out at us and fire them right back at her.
Meanwhile, Baja heading onward to Emperring 2.
Unfortunately, that insta center does mean Baja's got a little bit of a chance to catch up, but this is clearly nice.
I don't believe it's going to be enough.
No, Nice got this in the bag. This is a GG. But Baja pulled off an amazing recovery. And one more hit will end the fight.
Be one more.
Yeah, one more hit. Now Baja's on Emperring 3 again. We're going to screw attack the underbelly. Here comes the final hit for Nye. We've got it. That's time.
Nice.
152-28.
152. GG's for not.
Oh man, that was GG.
And now Baja's countdown starts as heads toward Dark Samus 4, 3 or 4.
It was amazing how close both these runners were, neck and neck for up until the very end.
Especially with such early route divergence.
Yeah, but I would say I think Baja had the early game down pat, going back for Amber Translator early, but the routing differences in the end, Baja staying to full clear, knife flip flopping around, that might have just locked it in. And with that being said, welcome Nye to the booth. How are you?
GG's.
Jeez.
Congratulations. 152-28. But we do have to point out the Insta Center you got on Dark Samus 4.
Yeah. At least I got a good screw.
You did a lot of damage with that screw attack. And Baja was like right behind you the entire time. That's time 154.04.
Really close.
GG's to both of you. That was fantastic by all means. So we're gonna go ahead and get our little bot to send out an invite to Baja. Now I'll go ahead and take care of that. If this panel wants to load, that'd be great. Oh, there we go. All right, that should send it out. Yep, there we go. Welcome, Baja. Congratulations. Hello, hello.
GG's.
GG's to both of you. Both were extremely close the entire time. Unfortunately, in the end, Baja, a little bit of routing differences costed you those few minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, the cannonball was still probably correct to go for even after.
The
wondering
cannonball
that.
would have saved you.
That said, like, the reason I got the third Chica key was because I wanted the boost ball. So I have no idea, like, in the universe where I had cannonball when I go to Under Temple Access. Were the Torvus keys hinted?
They were
didn't
not.
get the hint.
Didn't get the
No.
hint. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I might have been in trouble either way, honestly. Because I didn't have much interest in doing lower Taurus until I saw that it got me the boost ball, and I didn't have to worry about doing the cannonball wall crawl again.
Since we're on that topic of the cannonball wall crawl, you both had a little bit of trouble. Baja, you managed to clip into Worker's Path with Torvus Temple being unloaded. Torvus, God, I'm stuck on Torvus.
No,
You
I did it
clip-
correctly, and then I just walked into the door because I'm an idiot.
Oh god.
So you loaded Worker's Path, and that just
Yeah.
completely screwed up everything.
Yeah.
In turn, now you had a bit of trouble as well. What happened on your side with the wall crawl?
I missed
You
the
just-
door. And I
You missed
fell
the,
down.
so
Oh,
one
no.
one hit the door, one missed the door.
So you just fall to the bottom of the room, and Worker's Path is just so big. So you each had to take a reset on it, but that's where it diverged.
I'm honestly surprised that I did this well, mostly because I hot dogged Amber.
Yeah, I was wondering what happened there. You both got that information early on about a translator being in.
My brain did not register the hint.
Yeah, you were just dead set on going right to Aegon, trying to get as much item checks as possible. And
Yeah.
Baja, you went back for that translator and saw it was Amber, and that just opened up your entire early game right there.
It was great. I was in this really awkward position for like 20 minutes where I really wanted to check hints, but like on 2 E tanks, no seekers, I don't feel very comfortable with that. So I wanted one more E-Tank or Seekers, and then I finally figured out like Seekers were accessible, but it's really slow to get. But I'm like, I need to just go get my hints because I could just be in go mode, and then I spent all that time going back and forth to get Seekers and then to hints, and then realized, oh no, this is a horrible seed where I should have just been full clearing. So that didn't feel great. I was not very pleased with those hints.
No, you were flip flopping all over the place. You're going from area to area, doing some checks here and there, and just the logic train itself was not fairly straightforward. Unfortunately, you saw those. You both saw those super missiles up in Great Temple. How did that affect anything, if at all?
They were annoying because they meant that it was possible to do both like front and back Dark Aegon, like First Pass and Aegon, but I didn't have them, so I couldn't. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I was pretty happy with the route overall. The only thing that was annoying was not getting Spider Ball before going back to Aegon, like the Jump Guardian loop, because I wanted to have Jump Guardian dead before I did GFMC, but then the seed made that route not good.
Yeah, just in case.
I actually got Dark Suit for my first trip to Front Dark Aegon.
Oh, that's really good too. Yeah.
So I was at that point I was like, okay, I know where supers are and I have Dark Suit. Okay, I want to do hints now. So I was planning to open Portal Sight and Safe Warp, and right before that I saw the Spider hint and I'm like, oh no, I wouldn't have fought Jump Guardian if it weren't for that hint being right there.
Right, you get the information that Compound had it, but unfortunately, with Compound having both checks, do you take the risk and beeline it, or do you play it safe and kill Jump Guardian just in case it's on top of the ship?
Yeah, I did not take that risk. We already had Light Beam at that point, so there's no point not doing Jump Guardian.
Yeah, Light Beam was a freebie.
Yeah.
And then you found your suits. Torvus Lagoon hiding a suit. That must have been pretty fun to have.
I mean, the suits were pretty free, especially if you ran into Mineshaft on First Pass, which I did.
Yeah, I didn't go there until I got a hint that told me SDK was in MSB, and then I was like, dang it. This would have saved so much of that health trouble.
You gotta go all the way back over there, and hey, look, there's a free suit on the way here.
Mm-hmm.
No, you
one
had
thing I'm really
Dark
happy
and
about
Light
is
Suit first.
Say it again, PC.
Sorry, I was saying, you had Dark and Light Suit, and had each of them for a few minutes, while Baja, you were still on Varia. So we were just wondering when you'd come across those suits, because you didn't head to Torvus first. You head to Sanctuary first.
Yeah, the seed felt like you were supposed to go get Cannonball, and then because so much stuff was boost locked, and Chica is obviously way better if you have Cannonball. But I do not like that wall crawl without Cobalt, and I didn't want to go for it again and potentially blunder even more time, especially since
Cobalt.
I think I was still 3 Chica keys from go mode at that point, so it's like I have to clear a ton of checks still. So it's like I might just stumble on my boosting cannon anyways. So it didn't feel as critical as it maybe was, because I could have just gotten Cannonball somewhere free in lower Torvus or lower Sank or something.
Because Cobalt was in a Torvus Plaza access.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which is not where you'd expect to go all the way to Torvus, go all the way back to Sanctuary, and isolate Light Suit again. It was a very the seed. What the seed seemed to be telling you to do didn't really line up with the best way to route it. So this is a very interesting seed to route for each of you.
Mm-hmm. These are tough. Good.
I'm curious about how did you find the Cannonball hint?
The Cannonball hint? No.
Tumos.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Yeah, Tumos had your Cannonball.
So we weren't stumbling into Cannonball.
No, you were probably never going to get it.
Was that like Upper Torvus or something? Or I guess I never scanned FTA either.
I don't remember, actually.
I believe it was one of the Violet Translator hints, but I can't be sure.
Oh my god, did I forget to do Aegon Energy Controller? It might have been there. I think I forgot to do Aegon Energy Controller after.
Yeah, it was Hagen Energy Controller.
Yeah, I blundered that. I
That's-
blundered Defiled Shrine as well. I realized that was like a beam related upgrade as I was doing Incash 2 out of bounds. I'm like, oh, I might have just walked right by my Annihilator beam.
Yeah.
And now I'm sitting here struggling with this.
I did that too.
Yeah.
You know, since you brought it up, let's touch on the out of bounds today. A lot of out of bounds happening. We already covered the workers' path headache. Now let's cover in cash 2. You both had a fun time trying to get out of that room.
Yeah, I have a lot of muscle memory to relearn. So I just like last month switched to playing on console and playing on the GameCube controller versus like a cheap Logitech controller that I've been playing on for years. So there's lots of little things I need to rebuild muscle memory for. Like you've seen, I can't do like any seeker skips anymore, which is going to be a problem for this inbounds tournament. Because like I don't know, I think like soft forward inputs for the screw attacks I'm having trouble with. And then just out of bounds in general is precise. So any little differences in how the inputs I'm making can be bad.
What about you, Nye? How did you feel without all those out of bounds headaches today?
At least there weren't too many. Incash 2, apparently my muscle memory is rusty because I usually get that in the first couple tries.
Yeah, speaking on
I
that,
haven't done it in a while.
touching up on that just a little bit for our viewers who might not be too well experienced with the out of bounds. On a difficulty scale, how would you rate that particular out of bounds movement?
Annoying out of 10.
Annoying out of 10.
Yeah, that's very well said.
Yeah, I've never found a super consistent. Like I don't have like a lineup for that. I just bash my head up against it till I get it. So yeah, it's not hard because I'm not doing anything precise. It's just annoying because sometimes it doesn't want to give it to me.
Oh, I see. Let's see. Is there anything else to really cover today? We covered all the headaches. Yeah, you got your STK hints. I mean, they were all over the place for every single area.
Yeah, I mean, makes sense. I at least had not even exited Aegon and Temple Grounds by the time I got hints, so
yeah,
I'd say be all over.
That must have been fun to deal with, trying to route around each different area.
Yeah, Chicka keys were bad. Like, no hint.
Oh yeah,
really painful.
I mean, it was.
The only thing that bothers me is that there were no SDKs in Lower Turbos, and you had to go there anyways.
Mm-hmm.
There's no information to guide you saying, hey, you really need to go to this one obscure check for your last key. Nothing just points you in that direction.
Nope.
Oh, I guess with that being said, I think we're running into our time here today. With that being said, at PC, anything you want to add on? Any final questions or concerns?
I think we touched on everything that was noteworthy for this race. And I see that exclamation R, C, and D are all working in the chat this time, so that's nice.
And with that being said, Baha, Nye, anything you two would like to say as some final words today for this weekly?
No, thank you both for doing the commentary and the tracking. GG's Nye, GG's bro.
GG's.
Yeah, GG's. Thank you, PC, for joining me here today in the booth. Really appreciate it. And thank you for keeping our lovely tracker updated. You know, it's big help. So thank you for your assistance today.
No problem.
And with that being said, thank you everyone for joining us here at SpeedGaming today. It's been a pleasure hosting these weeklies for you. As some more information coming up, tomorrow, 2:00 p.m. Eastern, we have our Metroid Prime weekly happening. So if you're more of a Prime fan compared to Echoes, join us tomorrow at the same time for some Prime racing. And other than that, for those interested in more tournament-esque journeys, the Metroid Prime 2 Echoes tournament submissions are now open over at the Discord, the link posted down below. If you're interested in learning some Echoes or joining a 6-week tournament full of random nonsense, more than welcome to join us with the information posted below. You can find that in tournament announcements. And other than that, if no one else has anything to close off our program, we'll see you all in the next mission. Take care.
Bye-bye, everybody.